Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the forecast for each life path number for the month of May 2025. Before we get into the forecast, this is a general reading, so if you would like your own personal numerology reading, where we take a look at your own personal numerology, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. I would love to work with you. All right, let's go ahead and take a look to see what May holds in store. Life Path 33-6. I love the energies you all are working with for May. You're going to be working with the vibration of the 47-2, which technically is master number because it's 47-11-2. So it's big energy. Definitely a lot of, it feels very like ethereal, but it's also this energy that brings in opportunities to bring the ethereal into the tangible, especially through creativity and through creative expression. This is definitely a month where you could get some big ideas that come in, inspirations that come in, that give you creative outlets in order to pursue some kind of tangible result, right? And some kind of success from that result is very possible. So if there are things, and this doesn't have to be necessarily an idea that comes in this month, it could be something that you've been kind of mulling over, you've been thinking about. This would be an awesome month to get started, to play with it a little bit and explore it and see where it kind of takes you because there's a lot of energies at play here. Again, very ethereal, but also very tangible. And so it's an opportunity to kind of merge the two through your creativity, through what you have to bring to the table. And it could be working with someone else as well, but it's really coming from a place of your inspirations, your ideas, and following that. And because like the 11, right? It's because again, it's 47-11-2. That 11 energy is the inspirational leader. And so it's leading by your own inspiration, like doing what inspires you. And by doing that, inspiring others to do the same. And so there's definitely something here where your creativity is highlighted this month. So I would say make time for play, make time for exploration, for trying new things, for, again, trying new creative outlets and see where they take you. And if they don't work out by like your standards, like how you wanted them to work out, it's okay. You can always pivot. But this is such a fun month for following those inspirations, even if you're just doing it when you have time to do it. But I would say make time to do it this month. Try something new creatively. Maybe you've always wanted to do pottery. This would be an awesome month to take a class and see where that leads you. It might not go anywhere, but it will at least satisfy that urge or that desire that you have to try it, right? So you're letting those creative juices flow. And this is such a perfect cycle to do that. And I think that you will likely either meet someone or open yourself up to something creatively, something using your unique gifts that you didn't know was there before. And so it can be really powerful in that way as well. This is definitely a powerful month for, again, taking like your ideas and turning them into something realistic by finding realistic methods to make that happen. So again, this month is really about, on so many levels, finding that creative outlet that works for you. But you might not find it right away. You might need to kind of explore a little bit and play a little bit. But you have to give yourself permission to do that also. So again, if you've been thinking about starting a YouTube channel or a podcast or Substack or whatever, this would be such the perfect month to do it. And it's not so much about what the results show you this month. So like if you start a channel this month, chances are you're probably not going to see a huge return of your investment this month. But you're creating the outlet. You're taking the idea and turning it into something tangible, and that will grow into something. Might take time, but you're following that inspiration. This is the month to do that. You can have a lot of successful rewards, not just monetarily, but like in a lot of ways. It's interesting though, because this energy, the 47, promises that, you will see rewards for whatever it is that you are pursuing here. But you're going to need willpower, you're going to need determination, you're going to need to pull from your strength in order to implement the ideas that you select, right? The ones that you want to see to turn into something tangible. So it's not necessarily something that's just going to happen overnight. But this is the month to figure out what that outlet is for you. How does that look like? How are you expressing yourself creatively now? And it's not about the output, it's about the process. How are you expressing yourself now? What does that look like? And that could be as simple as journaling. Like, do you have a creative outlet? And if you don't, how can you find one? Because there's a lot of energy that's moving through you that wants to be expressed. It is also possible that there could be a lot of different temptations that kind of come up to distract you from sort of the actual purpose of this cycle. So in other words, like you might have a lot of things to choose from, let's put it that way. And that can feel a little bit overwhelming. So you're probably going to have to take some time, pace yourself, and decide what is it that you want. You might have to weigh your options, and there could be a tremendous amount of options this month. You might have to select and discard and be okay with that, right? And be very practical in that process. Understand that, we can't always immediately turn our greatest visions into something real. We can do it, but sometimes it can take years and years to do it. And so you just want to make sure that there's some reality in your choices as well, right? Like, how realistic is it? Because, you might have a vision of or a dream of, I want to go to the moon. That's not probably very realistic. For some it might be, and some it might happen, but it's going to take years and years, right? You see what I'm saying? So I think there's going to be a lot of inspirations that could come in for you this month, a lot of options, a lot of choices. This can also translate into relationships because you're ultimately working with the vibration of the 2. So for some of you, you might have a lot of choices when it comes to relationships. It doesn't have to be just romantic. It can also be friendships, etc. But again, I would say choose wisely. That sounds awful, but I just mean, not everyone is going to be a fit. Not everyone is going to match our energy. Not everyone is going to be able to bring the same kind of reciprocity. And I think it's important to, again, even with relationships, just like with creative projects, explore, be curious, take your time, get to know the person, etc. But you may find that you have a lot of choices this month. So you don't want to rush into anything too impulsively. What's important to you? Ask yourself the questions, what's important to you? What do you value? And why? And then if it's about relationships, what does the other person value? What's important to that person and why? And through those conversations, you can get a feel for whether or not there's a match there, Not saying opposites don't attract. They can, of course. But, there needs to be some kind of congruency when it comes to values and that sort of thing. And that you're both on the same page of what you want. So just like with creative projects, with relationships as well, I think you might have some choices. So just take your time in deciding where you want to invest your energy and how you want to participate, what that looks like. And this month could be very fulfilling in a lot of ways with that. But pay attention to the distractions as well. You don't want to invest your energy into things that are actually draining you or taking your inspiration away, because that's going to leave you frustrated and feeling overwhelmed. Could be a really mystical month. A lot of magic this month is very, very possible. Follow your intuition, come back to yourself, make sure that you're checking in with yourself, make sure that your choices reflect, what it is, again, that you want, what you value, and then you're going to get the most out of the month. And also, this is a month for taking a risk, deciding and then going for it, taking the risk, taking the leap of faith. And I think you'll be really pleased with that. I pulled in an animal wisdom message for you all, and you got ladybug energy. And I love that so much. It's so aligned with this energy. Ladybug, just bringing the miracles and the luck and the magic to this month. I just love it. And so, you know, the feeling that you get when a ladybug lands on you, it's that kind of energy where you're like, oh, I get a wish, you know what I mean? Or, oh, I'm going to have good luck or whatever. It's that very like, that mystical magic. And yeah, I just think this month can be really beautiful for you all with that. If you tap into it and if you say yes to it, you know, it's kind of like if the ladybug lands on you and you don't make a wish, then you might not get the wish. But if you make the wish, you might get it. So yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful energy y'all are working with this month. So I hope it's a great one. I think it will be. Just take your time, be patient, and make your decision. Then go for it. Go for it. So, all right. Hope it's a great one, 33s. Take care. Bye for now.